walk you over here and try not to make you drunk. Hey look, we had such a warm weather. That's how much of our wood pile we had left. That's all right. We'll use it to barbecue this summer. Anyway, I'll stop off right over here.
Woo! Hey Dad, are we having hamburgers for supper?
That jar, that black pan with the inverted ceramic bowl, you see the honeybees in circles around the pan? Okay, go on. Yeah, there you go. That bowl was full this morning. This jar, we filled it about 2 hours ago. This jar, the jar in the chicken feeder, it was filled about 1:30 or maybe 1 o'clock this afternoon. Not doing a whole lot with it yet, but as soon as this black pan right here, I'm not going to fill it anymore, because even though they do fairly well with the inverted ceramic bowl inside the pan and I put liquid in there, they do fairly well with that, but I still have some that get drowned. And a honeybee that drowns in the sugar bowl is a waste. Well, any honeybee, I guess, that drowns is a waste, but the thing is, the black pan, when it goes empty, I'm not going to refill it. After that, I'm going to use this, and that's an inverted jar. Just got about 5 little 1/16 inch holes drilled in the lid, and they'll climb up under there. Oh, get away, Mr. Wasp. Honeybees I can deal with, but at least a honeybee can only sting me once. See all the honeybees hanging up under there? They suck it out through the little holes. See the drip? Those that are down there on the tailgate of the truck, actually on the metal, they're the ones that are picking up what drips, I guess. But as soon as this black pan is empty, I'm not going to put any more in there. I don't like feeding them that way. This right here, the chicken feeder, see the rocks in there? If they were to get out of kilter and get into the liquid in that feeder, at least they can have the rocks there and they can climb out. So that's a good thing. I'm going to try that for a day or two. Shouldn't see any bees. Shouldn't see any bees drowned in it, but we'll see. Okay, so that's kind of a test thing. I can't take credit for the idea. I've seen it on YouTube. Walls B-Man Durham channel. He actually used a big quail feeder, but it's similar to this, similar idea to this, and he seemed to be fairly happy with it and what have you. So, and it seemed to be working good for him. So I thought, he doesn't seem to be having any bees that are getting drowned when he uses that. So, but he also uses it a lot of times. He'll put it internally. He'll put it into like a big. The one he has is like a 1 gallon quail feeder, I think it was, and he was putting it inside of like a 8 frame deep super and covering it and actually feeding the bees internally. I'm going to start doing that because before long, right now I've only got the 1 hive, and I'm not really worried about setting off a robbing frenzy from 1 hive to the other since I only have 1 hive. But by the end of this month or the middle of April, I should be starting to split and split and split, because they are just they're just kicking into high gear and going nuts, folks. And I hope to be splitting, in which case in a short time I should have multiple hives. And unless I find a nice place more of a distance away that I can set these feeders, I'm not going to open feed anymore once that occurs. We'll come over here. I'll take you over here to the hive. Okay, this hive right now, they're working on making a queen. The queen that was in this hive, I split her off. She's up at our other property up north, about 7 or 8 miles from here. These guys are working on, there's queen cells in this hive as we speak. These folks, they're bringing in, you can see the pollen, or at least I hope you can see the pollen. The sun's glaring on the screen of this camera and I can't really see very well what you can see. There we go. Hopefully. Yeah, there went one with pollen. You know, a lot of them are just going to the feeder and back, but there is a lot of them that is also going to collect pollen somewhere else. I would assume maple trees, If they collect pollen from daffodils, we've got a lot of those in bloom. We've got a lot of this little purple stuff on the ground, although I haven't seen the bees working any of it yet. But this little purple stuff, I have seen the bees work it in the past. If anybody knows what this is called, I'd love to know. Kind of looks like clover, but it's got the little purple flowers on it. Somebody told me one time what it was called, but I just can't remember. But when those little things start to open up, you'll see the bees, or I will rather, I'll see them working that stuff, and I guess pulling a little bit from it. Shouldn't be long, we'll have some white Dutch clover, I think, that'll be blooming. Anyway, yeah, we will. But yeah, they're working on a queen cell. Not having a queen at the moment hasn't slowed them down one single bit. As you can see, they are just coming and going at full force. Some of them, again, are bringing in pollen. A lot of them are just going and relaying back and forth to the feeder. It's about, what, 25 feet away and back. So they've been drawing wax. I looked in here yesterday. They're drawing a little bit of wax, or fixing some of the wax frames that I gave them from some of the dead outs that I explained in the earlier bee video that I did back earlier part of February. So I've given them some of those frames in here, in this top box. Sorry, swung away there. They are working on fixing that wax comb in there, what needs to be fixed. They pulled a lot of dead bees out of it. They pulled a lot of it. They cleaned up the mold. They pulled out the old moldy pollen. And a week or so ago, you would have thought this hive was being robbed out, the way all the wax cappings and all the pieces of little pods of pollen, I guess you call it, that they had pulled out of the cells that were all moldy and what have you, and they were all in the bottom. You would think this hive was being robbed out. You see a lot of cappings right there in the left corner right now. I cleaned a lot of it out. I took my hive tool and reached in there as far as I could and ruck it all out, but they've gotten some more. But there's still a lot in this top box right here, the frames, that they need to clean up. And they're working on drawing new wax to replace some that they chewed out on a frame or two in that bottom box. So yeah, they're in pretty good shape. They don't have a lot. They didn't have, as of yesterday or day before, they didn't have a lot of food in the hive. They've got some in the bottom there. I mean, they're not starving. Yesterday and today, they've probably taken in, well, let's see. When they have emptied this jar to the right here, this inverted jar, when they empty this and this pan, okay, that will be a gallon of syrup that they have taken in between yesterday and today. Okay, now what's missing out of that gallon jug of syrup right there? See the line right here? That's in this quart jar. Okay, so that'll be the next gallon they're working on for the next day or couple days or whatever. They don't necessarily need it. If I don't feed it, they will come in and out. There's still, I mean, there's forage to be had here, but I'm not giving them everything they need really, because I've only been feeding them. See, I hadn't fed them for a week prior to yesterday, and the weather was bad, rainy. They couldn't get out, they couldn't fly, they couldn't forage. So when the weather got better yesterday, I put the syrup to them. It's only a 1-to-1. I mean, it's not real strong. They're going to have to dry it out anyway, quite a bit. But it's I put the sugar syrup on them yesterday early, right after. Well, we had some more stormy weather last night, but it was just a short storm and gone. But all day yesterday was fairly nice weather, and so they were able to take in syrup from here and relay it back and forth. But all of the foragers are not coming to this feeder out of that hive. They're going elsewhere. because, like I said, they're getting pollen too, and when they go somewhere to pick up pollen, they're not going to come back without some nectar. So wherever they're getting the pollen, okay, the bees are buzzing around my head there, I'm going to let them be. I don't mind them buzzing around my head, but next thing I know, they'll be trying to fly in my ears and my eyes and everywhere else. They like to follow me around. I don't know if I got a little lemongrass oil behind my ear or what. Sometimes I think my son sneaks in while I'm asleep and puts lemongrass oil behind my ear so the bees will follow me around. Yeah, there's still one buzzing around here somewhere. When I get a bee buzzing around me like that, I don't know if they're upset with me or what, but a lot of times I'll get one buzzing around me like that. I can't get it to leave me alone unless I go to the front door and walk in the door. Honeybee won't follow me in the front door, but it'll follow me anywhere else on the place out here. Go figure. Okay. Anyway, folks, enough rambling. Good to get you out another video again. Hope you enjoy watching. Chuck, Hillbilly Half Acre Homestead. God bless.